Hi, everybody. So today is, I forgot to do this yesterday, T, and then you go around to the H, Thursday, Thursday. And I have for us today the Great Kapok Tree. And this is illustrated, it's a tale of the Amazon rainforest by Lynn Cherry. So um, it is her variation or adaptation of this Amazon rainforest tale. Okay, and if you notice how beautiful the cover is, we see that there's a beautiful tree, the Great Kapok tree, and we see a gentleman right down here. Can you see what he has on his hanging from his belt? That looks like an axe to me. Well, let's do our things really quickly. This is the front cover, spine, back cover. Taking my finger, I'm drawing one line. Title, taking my finger, drawing one circle. Author. Now, if I was to draw two circles, 1, 2, that would tell you that she's also the illustrator. And we haven't done this in a few days. The difference between the author and the illustrator are the author writes the words, I hope you said, and the illustrator draws the wonderful pictures. Good. So, and look at these end pages. I'm sorry. Somebody wrote my name on here a long time ago. Wasn't me, because I know how to spell my name. Look at, see? So it's showing you where the rainforests are all over the world. In here, it shows you the understory, the canopy, and the emergence. Those are the different levels. And all around the edges are the different types of animals that you find in a tropical rainforest. And here we go. Ready? It says, let's turn it this way. I'm having difficulties again today. It says, in the Amazon rainforest, it is always hot. And in the heat, everything grows and grows and grows. The tops of the trees in the rainforest are called the canopy. The canopy is a sunny place that touches the sky. The animals that live there like lots of light. Colorful parrots fly from tree to tree. Monkeys leap from branch to branch. The bottom of the rainforest is called the understory. The animals that live in the understory like darkness. There, silent snakes curl around hanging vines. Graceful jaguars watch and wait. And in the steamy environment, the great kapok tree shoots up through the forest and emerges above the canopy. This is the story of a community of animals that live in one such tree in the rainforest. So when we talk about Durgan Park, right, we talk about we're a community of Durgan Park means we all live around Durgan Park. Well, this is the community that lives around the Great Kapok Tree. And remember, they mentioned all these different things. Here's the understory, and then here's the canopy. Do you remember which one's like the light and which one's like the dark? Canopy likes the light because they're up by the sun, and the understory down here like it how? Dark. Very good, boys and girls. Here's our cover page, the Great Kapok Tree. Are you ready? So, here we go. A man walked into the rainforest. Moments before, the forest had been alive with the sounds of squawking birds and howling monkeys. Now all was quiet as the creatures watched the two men and wondered why they had come. The larger man stopped and pointed to the Great Kapok Tree. Then he left. So see, there's one man here and one man here. That's an awfully big tree. Oh, beautiful pages, aren't they, boys and girls? So much to look at. The smaller man took the axe he carried and struck the trunk of the tree. Whack, whack, whack. And some of us know that's called onomatopoeia, right? The sounds of the blows rang through the forest. The wood of the tree was very hard. Chop, chop, chop! The man wiped the sweat that ran down his face and neck. Whack, chop, whack, chop! Soon the man grew tired. He sat down to rest at the foot of the great kapok tree. Before he knew it, the heat and the hum of the forest had lulled him to sleep. I don't know. You see all those animals? Would you behave? I don't know if I'd be able to sleep with that coming down a tree on me. I'll be honest. Although it's dark and you maybe couldn't see anything. But there, as we speak, he is. Sorry, Mrs. Nielsen's afraid of snakes. I wonder how many of you guys are afraid of snakes, too. They're beautiful. I just don't like them. A boa constrictor lived in the kapok tree. He slithered down its trunk to where the man was sleeping. He looked at the gash the axe had made in the tree. The huge snake slid very close to the man and hissed in his ear. Senor, this tree is a tree of miracles. It is my home, where generations of my ancestors have lived. Do not chop it down. Wow. Oh, look at these. What are those, boys and girls? I hope you said butterflies. A bee. Oh, right there. Do you see it? Oh, another one there. A bee buzzed in the sleeping man's ear. Senor, my hive is in this kapok tree, and I fly from tree to tree and flower to flower collecting pollen. In this way, I pollinate the trees and flowers throughout the rainforest. You see, all living things depend on one another. So the tree provides a home, and then the bees can go off and do the work in the rainforest, just like for the boa constrictor, the snake. And look at who's coming to see the man now. A troop of monkeys scampered down from the canopy of the tree. They chattered to the sleeping man. Senor, we have seen the ways of the man. You chop down one tree, then you come back for another and another. The roots of these trees will wither and die, and there will be nothing left to hold the earth in place. When the heavy rains come, the soil will be washed away, and the forest will become a desert. Do you think that these animals could live in a desert? I think they need their trees, don't they? A toucan, a macaw, and a cock of a rock flew down from the canopy. Senor, squawked the toucan, you must not cut down this tree. We have flown over the rainforest and seen what happens once you begin to chop down trees. Many people settle on the land. They set fires to clear the underbrush, and soon the forest disappears. Where once there was life and beauty, only black and smoldering ruins remain. Beautiful birds, aren't they? They too want their tree to be preserved. Oh, let's go very close here. Can you see what these are? A bright and small tree frog crawled along the edge of a leaf. In a squeaky voice, he piped into the man's ear. Senor, a ruined rainforest means ruined lives, and many ruined lives. You will leave many of us homeless if you chop this great kapok tree. Did you realize so many animals lived in the Great Kapok Tree? What do you think he knows? Oh, what's going to happen here, do you think? A jaguar who had been sleeping along a branch in the middle of the tree. Because of his spotted coat, he blended into the dappled light and shadows of the understory. No one had noticed him. Now he leapt down and padded silently over to the sleeping man. He growled in his ear, "Senor, the kapok tree is home to many birds and animals. If you cut it down, where will I find my dinner?" Now we have more. Who knows what these are? They're interesting. Do you know what those are? Did you say tree porcupines? 4 tree porcupines swung down from branch to branch and whispered to the man, "Senor, do you know what the animals and humans need in order to live? Oxygen. And senor, do you know what trees produce? Oxygen. If you cut down the forests, you will destroy that what gives us all life." Did you know that we got oxygen from our trees? That's what they do. We breathe out carbon dioxide, and the trees take that in through their leaves, and then they make oxygen that they release. Who can tell me what these are? They've got long noses, the mouth there at the end, and long tongues. Several anteaters climb down the kapok tree with their young clinging to their backs. The unstriped anteater said to the sleeping man, "Senor, you are chopping down this tree and with no thought for the future. And surely you know what happens tomorrow depends on what you do today. The big man tells you to chop down a beautiful tree. He does not think of his own children, who tomorrow must live in a world without trees." Oh, these are very popular animals today. I bet you know what this is. If you said a tree sloth, you would be correct. Actually, this is a three-toed sloth. A three-toed sloth had begun climbing down from the canopy when the men first appeared. Only now did she reach the ground. You know, sloths move very, very slowly. Notice she's got a young, very, very slowly. Plodding ever so slowly over to the sleeping man, she spoke in her deep and lazy voice. "Senor, how much is beauty worth? Can you live without it? If you destroy the beauty of the rainforest, on what would you feast your eyes?" Who's that? A child from the Yanomamo tribe who lived in the rainforest knelt over the sleeping man. He murmured in his ear, "Senor, when you awake, please look upon us all with new eyes." What's going to happen? Oh my goodness, look at that, boys and girls. You see all the animals? The bottom of the page. Everywhere. The man awoke with a start. Before him stood the rainforest child, and all around him staring were creatures who depended on the great kapok tree. What wondrous and rare animals they were. What do you think he's thinking right now? Do you think he's scared? Maybe surprised? Could he be sad? Why do you think that? The man looked about and saw the sun streaming through the canopy. Spots of the bright light glowed like jewels amidst the dark green forest. Strange and beautiful plants seemed to dangle in the air, suspended from the great Kapok tree. The man smelled the fragrant perfume of their flowers. He felt the steamy mist rising above the forest floor. But he heard no sound, for the creatures were strangely quiet. I'm sure he's thinking about what he must do. The man. Oh, do you see the gash, boys and girls? The man stood and picked up his axe. He swung back his arm as though to strike the tree. Suddenly he stopped. He turned and he looked at the animals and the child. He hesitated, then dropped his axe and walked out of the rainforest. And right there, you can see his axe. Why do you think he left? Was the tree going to be too hard to chop down, or do you think he was thinking about something else? I think, now this is just my opinion, I think he didn't want to chop down the tree anymore because all the animals whispering in his ears told him about how important it was to have the trees. The trees for the animals, for the oxygen, for the food. We don't want it to become a desert. This is where our oxygen comes from, the rainforest. This page with the anteaters, I love this page because this part is so important. The big man tells you to chop down a beautiful tree. He does not think of his own children who tomorrow must live in a world without trees. And that's something I always say to my own children because they're big, they're older, much older, they're adults. And I always say to them whenever I catch them not recycling, like Walter in our book yesterday, Just a Dream. Remember Walter, who decided that he didn't want to recycle because his favorite TV show was going to be on. So he just threw everything into one can. Sometimes I find my big kids not wanting to recycle something because they don't want to have to take the recycling out. And I say to them, but look, this is your world. This is what you're going to grow up in. So you have to think about your children. So I know you guys are really young and you're not thinking about having children right now, but we have to think about that when we throw something down on the ground, when we don't recycle something, when we leave the lights on all over the house. We have to think about the generations that come after us. That what kind of a world will we leave them? I think yesterday I mentioned the Girl Scouts and their motto, leave a place better than you found it. So I think that's the key, that when we think about things like the Great Kapok Tree, we learn that we have to keep things and we have to make it better, not make it worse. It's our duty to preserve the world. The animals can't do it without us, boys and girls. We're the ones who have to do it. So I'm going to let you go. This book today, I think it's my first and second, third and fourth. Third and fourth was yesterday for first and second. So you guys are actually going to think about recycling, and I'm going to put your lesson on Class Dojo for you. And actually your lesson kind of goes along with this book about thinking about recycling because it is Earth Week. But I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And again, happy Earth Week. And love you. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Bye.